No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in a locker is because...
I got it!
I got it!
Even before we open the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I
Everyone's
don't
so
know
like
proves I
determined
didn't
the whole
kill her.
time.
Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
Byakuya and his evil
But
grin.
if Genocide Jill didn't do it,
Government
that means
weed!
Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
Government, I saw your laptop came in.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Could we really be missing something so important? If there's another possible explanation, maybe it's... Aoi's accident? What? Oh, count. Okay.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
It's a whole desktop? Oh, I thought it was a laptop. That's awesome. By the way, government, you missed me in a dinosaur inflatable T-Rex costume. If there's one place I might find a clue, it would have to be written in there.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill...
Okay, what was Aoi's account? Second written notes to Toko, Byakuya, and Yosahiro, asking to meet her in the rec room by noon. She had slid those notes on. Okay, that's not anything that we care about now.
And what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
Shoot!
That's awesome, though, government. I'm stoked for you.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
Do I have to pick up another one in this, Reese? Okay. So then it's okay. Then I just had to.
What was it that killed
Then
Ogre?
it's this with
If it
yeah.
wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's
Okay.
no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her.
No, that's wrong.
Man, I don't government. I streamed for a little bit when I first started
According to
on
the
one
Monokuma file,
monitor, and
Sakura
man,
had
that
vomited
is
blood.
hard.
I
I know
we can
Dr.
assume
Claude does
there's a
it too, though.
chance This was related to her cause of death.
Like he gets his chat off of his phone, I think.
In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
God, you really are into dead bodies.
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone, quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
Why am I tired from running around in that T-Rex costume?
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the
I
fourth
don't
floor.
understand.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
That's awesome, government. That's real. I mean, 2 is... It's great. I don't, like... I could stream with 2. I do it with 3, but...
It's not an especially
When's your first stream with
powerful
it, then,
poison,
weeb?
but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
The bottle of poison by Ukuya just showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. It was on the same shelf as all the supplements. I'm positive.
I got it!
I got it!
The poison
I
was
got it!
actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
Oh, so the yellow powder on the floor was the what do you call it? I couldn't believe my eyes. By Ukuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and, huh, Master? We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all I could do is stand there and watch. But as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Baikuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Spitters are quitters, everyone. Spitters are quitters.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
What are you doing for webcam, government? Were you using a real webcam before or your laptop webcam?
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Baikuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Huh?
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder, which would mean that, conversely, the poison must have been in, could it be, protein. Where's the N? God damn it. Where's the D? I. N. There you go.
Now I understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched.
Are you gonna get a webcam, Gov?
So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that,
Because I don't know how you. I don't know
the
how you
culprit
use.
was able
How are
to
you
get
doing it now?
Sakura
Then
to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
I got it!
I got it.
You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
a protein
See,
drink which
this is why,
actually
again, where I think it
contained
was
a deadly
Hina.
poison.
Because those shoes sizes was smaller than ours, and that couldn't have been Sakura's.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
Has to be what we found in front of the shelf.
I got it!
I got it!
The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely
love
no footprints
you.
there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.
See?
The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
I got it!
I got it!
Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No? Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else,
Yeah,
haven't
see,
you?
I thought for a second Sakura might have killed herself, but then I was like, no, it's Hina.
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then
Hold it. I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
So it was Sakura that killed herself.
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create...
Well,
Why? It was Hina and
doesn't
her.
matter.
the whole time.
just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Sakura
sure
was
about that?
fucking tough, man.
Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
That was... I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
She doesn't want people to know that Sakura killed herself.
You didn't notice?
She wants everybody to die, but like
Yeah, that's just how it was.
because she didn't want.
What
Yeah.
can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true, isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I can cover the full truth of this case. Footprints of the powder.
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A.
What?
Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
In the chem lab, where were the footprints and what direction were they facing? Those facts clearly contradict what Hina just told us.
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed
No,
the
because
bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C
To Section A.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong! No, that's wrong.
You said you went to get the poison from Section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I left the footprint.
Ah,
Ah!
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
well,
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
well, you see...
I don't get
What
Hina.
What the hell? What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
What?
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Huh? A piece of glass.
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle. And the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder.
Yeah, he is.
I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh,
It's
you
like
still don't
Byakuya
realize?
is the
Well
culprit.
then, Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
The shard of light blue glass Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now. I broke something the same shade of blue. The rec room.
got it!
Yeah. I got it!
It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this
Objection!
bottle of poison?
What's up, LZT? You beautiful man, you.
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that
LZT, I was
according
laughing
to what
so much
Hina
at your
told us-
stream this morning. Where was it? Where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? According to what Hina told us.
Shoot! What's
Oh.
strange... I got it!
I got it!
The bottle of poison was
Ah,
left on
nah,
the shelf
nah,
in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina?
LZT, how you doing, buddy?
And yet,
LZT, you missed
somehow
my
a piece of glass
T-Rex
from the
costume.
rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room.
Someone was supposed to take a clip of it, and I don't think anyone did.
It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then,
Astros,
once
no
the
one
room
took
was
a-
opened, the
Viro,
bottle
no one took
somehow
a
got
clip?
moved back to the shelf in the chem lab.
It's gonna be a video at some point here.
Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked.
Objection!
But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with a poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Your waifu is very calm, Reese.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here.
Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
God, Byakuya is so pissed. The reason she can say that is because there's evidence.